Hi, I'm Tawny with JNet, and I'm here with Steve Hanna, Distinguished Engineer for Juniper Networks. And Steve, I know that you've been giving a lot of talks lately about cloud computing, which is a super savvy, interesting topic for a lot of people. Why don't you give me a definition of what cloud computing is for you?
Sure. So for our customers, when we talk to them about cloud computing, we're really talking about shared resources, accessed over the internet, and providing some services that are needed by the enterprise.
I know that a lot of people have some concerns too about cloud computing, especially centered around security and availability, at least at the conferences that I've gone to and heard people discuss about. How do you address these issues? Are these legitimate issues?
These are legitimate issues. Cloud computing has a lot of potential to reduce costs through those shared resources and to offer greater flexibility. But those shared resources, the fact that they're shared and maybe shared with your competition, raise real security issues. If you're going to put mission-critical data on those shared resources up in the cloud, how do you make sure that that data doesn't fall into the wrong hands?
Right.
So, and how do you make sure that that data is available when you need it and the services are available when you need them? It's a real concern for customers. So Juniper, when we talk to our customers about it, and when I give these talks at conferences, I really talk about security in a couple of ways. The most critical thing from a security perspective is the ability to trust your provider, your cloud computing provider. You have to have a trusted relationship with that provider because they've got your crown jewels, as it were, in their safe. And also the issue of separation. So you can sort of think of it like a safe deposit box. Not that you want to lock up your crown jewels, but you want to make sure that they're secure. And you want to make sure that the employees of the cloud provider are trustworthy and that their operation is well managed. You also want to make sure that the only folks who are going to be able to get into your safe deposit box are your authorized employees, not your competition or whatever. So what needs to be provided, there is a proper access control and separation between the customers.
So that's security then, but what about availability?
Well, that's a very real concern. There have been several instances recently of cloud providers that have had some significant downtime, even big providers like Amazon and Google.
Right.
And that can be a real problem if you're counting on them to have your applications and keep them up and running all of the time. So in terms of availability, there are a couple of things that can be done there. First, the cloud providers, really need to focus on their own uptime. But another issue that people worry about is, availability of the network, because really it's a whole system.
Right.
If the cloud provider is up, but the network isn't up, you're not going to be able to get to your data any better. So you need to have trust not only in your cloud provider and their security and their availability, but you also need to make sure that the availability of the network is ensured as well. And so customers really need to look at, what is the access path to that cloud, and are they confident of the security and the reliability of that access path.
So is that how they check when they make a decision? They need to actually look at the path? Or because right now where it's so new, you can't actually look on history as much, right?
Well, you can. A lot of these providers have, a couple years of history, and you can look at their track record and you can say, how has their availability been over the last few years?
Right.
Yet you can get agreements with the cloud provider that they'll refund you some money, but service level agreements. But that may not really make you whole if your application was down for a few hours at a critical juncture.
Right.
So you really want to have trust there in the cloud provider. As far as trust in the path, That's something that you need to get with your network service provider. So it could be, your ISP. You need to make sure that they're going to be able to give you the guaranteed bandwidth and availability to the cloud provider that you need for your business applications.
So if our viewers want to know more about cloud computing, where can they go?
I'm going to do a few blog postings about it on the Networking Now blog. So
excellent. So now if people have questions, they can actually chat with you about it in the comment section.
Yeah, that would be great. So submit your questions and comments, and I'll address them in the blog postings.
So if you'd like to leave a question or comment for Steve, you can do so below this video. For JNet, I'm Tawny. Thanks for watching.